Over to Ryan, and that's all about party planning, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been looking forward to welcoming Randall MacDonald to the program for quite some time. My friend, when it comes to party planning, they say you... the mindset you've got to be in general.
Absolutely, you know, and if you're going to throw a theme party, you have to think about the details, and the details is what's going to set your party apart from anybody else's party. So you must do your research. So whatever theme you choose, do your research and find out what the details are.
Okay, you've got some really neat stuff here on the table. Safe to say you're going with a Titanic theme for this theoretical party that we're throwing.
That's right.
So step number one, you've identified a Titanic theme.
Right.
Okay.
Well, in this particular case, our inspiration for the party was a brand new dining room table and chairs. Oh. So for the inaugural sailing of the table, we decided to have a Titanic dinner party.
What a great idea.
And we also had the party actually on the night that the Titanic actually sank, just to add into that whole theme of it. Though we didn't kick out one of the legs of the tables.
There you go.
So we started with our invitations. So what we did was we researched the font of the invitation to ensure that the style of the type was appropriate for the turn of the century. Instead of our condo number, we called it a cabin. We advised people how to dress in period black ties. So your theme starts from your invitation. That's
and Randall,
really important.
You can't be hesitant. You can't be reserved when it comes to painting the picture to your guests of what you expect from them, right? When it comes to wardrobe or anything along those lines.
No, you're absolutely right. And in fact, people, and this is the word we've often heard, people like being given permission to play.
Yeah.
So when you give people permission, tell a woman it's okay to wear a tiara, I guarantee you, they all show up in tiaras.
Okay, well, we're talking about invitations, and obviously those go to guests. How do you determine the guest list? How do you determine the size of the party, who's able to come, and maybe who would get along or who wouldn't?
Right, you know, and that's a really good point. You really want to think about who you're inviting to a party, any party, actually. And when you're putting together a guest list, you want to think about people's personalities, commonalities, what they would enjoy, how people are going to interact, because it's not always appropriate to invite all your friends to a party, and particularly a theme party. You want to make sure that you have people who are going to be engaged and having fun and want to participate.
You know what? I think that sometimes society has lost its way when we see the behavior of certain people. You've got this etiquette book out here. What's the role that you would say etiquette plays in the planning process?
Well, you know, I think etiquette's a really fun thing to throw in because it almost becomes a bit of a conversation piece or a bit of trivia. So in this particular case, we use the etiquette for setting the table properly according to etiquette. But one of the things I like doing is taking little pieces of etiquette and teaching people, as I call it. So, for example, one of my favorite things is the proper way to RSVP to an invitation. So, according to etiquette, the proper way to RSVP to an invitation is in the manner in which you're invited. If it's an email, you email back. If it's in writing, you write back.
You know, I think that tips like this are so important because, you know, the more that things change, the more that evites are out there and all these types of things, people can lose their way. We're running out of time, Randall, but I want to ask you very quickly, if somebody's going, well, this is all great. I'd love to get stuff custom printed. I'd love to roll out all these things, but I'm working on a budget. That's my reality. What would your suggestion be?
Absolutely. So what I would suggest in that case is, so instead of having people come in black tie, have them wear black shirts, black pants, white shirt, go to the dollar store or a costume shop, buy a sailor's hat, or make one out of paper. As regards to the napkins, we had these custom made in Ireland from the same factory that did the linens for the Titanic. Oh, wow. But if you can't afford to do that, I went online, I found this image, I cut it out, white paper napkins, I just made a Titanic napkin. The other thing I would suggest is music. Music's really important for tying your theme together. Go to the library. If you don't want to buy a CD, go to the library and rent something from that period.
And Randall, you know, I think that the extra effort that you put in, even in saving money on the budget side of the party, and then all the way up to the spectacular inclusions there, it conveys to your guests that they're important and valued guests at your party, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, what we did for the Titanic party that we had, we found an original menu that was served on the Titanic, and we had it recreated. Now, if you don't want to have an 11-course dinner, what I would suggest is still find the menu. Maybe instead of getting a caterer, do the cooking yourself, or maybe just cut down on the number of courses that you have at the more inexpensive party. But still gives people that whole theme, that whole feel. You can tell them this particular dish was actually served on the Titanic.
Absolutely awesome suggestions. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We're out of time. We could talk for 20 more minutes.
Absolutely.
But if you want to find more of what Randall does, check out our website under Inside BT. Carla, you've got to come in and take a look at this Titanic menu. What is it, Randall? 11? It's 10 or 11 courses, Carla. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, I'm loving his ideas. I really want to see what's on that menu.